Yo, you already know who I am. Caesar, Black Ink CEO and mogul. And you're on the Sicarah show. Well, I'm on the Sicarah show. Wait, I fucked this whole drop up. What up, Sicarah?
Yo, thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. And I just ate a tuna sandwich and my breath smell like tuna, and she's being very professional right now because I know my breath stink, but it is what it is.
You know what? It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
You sure?
I think so.
Okay.
I say so. So first I want to say you are an incredible tattoo artist. You've interviewed, you've interviewed with the best brands. You've actually been with the top artists, and they have your work on their body. So I want to talk about what is the highlight of your tattoo career, if you can name one.
I think my highlight of my tattoo career is really not necessarily getting black tattoo artists recognized, but taking us to that next step, because no one would ever sit there and say, yo, Caesar was the reason why a lot of people recognize urban tattoo artists, or why some of y'all started even tattooing in the first place.
Talk that talk, because that's true. I didn't really see a lot of black tattoo artists until you came on TV, honestly.
Yeah, now you see us, we like roaches, you know what I mean? Like everywhere you go is a whole bunch of black tattoo artists. And you know, before it wasn't cool. Like before, black tattoo artists, if they wasn't in the industry, they had to be gothic with the black nails, the oversized pants, fucking skateboarding. I wasn't with none of that.
Right.
I'm wearing name brands, jewelry. I'm being your whole face, all that, you know what I mean, smelling good. So y'all be mad, and that's how it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I feel like you made it cool for anybody to be a tattoo artist. Like you don't have to be a certain way.
You don't have to be in that whole genre of, yo, I'm only a gothic night. You can just be yourself, and you can make some money. You can make a lot of money. Like people starting to see how much money tattooing making now. Everybody like, I want to be a tattoo artist. I want to be a tattoo artist. Listen, it's a hard job, but hey, I'm glad there's so many black entrepreneurs getting into the business, because when I first started, it wasn't too many black owners. Now you look at it, it's probably quadruple by, like everybody has a shop.
Exactly. Yeah, and I want to get into that too. Like Exodus 1:7, you tattooed that on DMX. May he rest in peace. What was your reaction when you heard that news? And also, I want to know, what was that experience like for you, because he's a legend.
X is kind of different because I really never seen, from the day I met X, I never seen him like that. Like I seen him as a human being, and that's what made him respect me, because his exact words was like, it's funny because I remember to this day, if anybody remember the 113th, there's the front part and there's my office. So he came in like, yo, I want to do this, do that. I'm like, all right. But I treat him like a regular person. He came back to me, closed the door on me. Like, yo, I got to talk to you for real quick. I was like, yo, what's the problem, right? He's like, yo, you ain't like these other motherfuckers. Like, you ain't on no dick sucking shit, no nothing. You should see my language, you know, but that's what he said to me. So I'm like, nah, X, like, you're right. He's like, I respect that. I fuck with you because you treat me like you. And yo, no lie, that first day he was in that shop, and this before we was on TV, mind you. We bonded so crazy. Like, he came in there like 11 o'clock at night, and he ain't leave till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And the tattoo we did was like 10 minutes. He was sitting there having rap battles in the shop, smoking, talking shit. It was so crazy. So now fast forward now, years later, and it's crazy, like 8 years, I ain't realized how long me and X had this relationship. Cause X here, I'm in Miami, yo, come out here. Yo, I'm out here in Miami, come. Yo, he'll be like, yo, we be flying helicopters, racing fucking motor cars, all that shit. And I never, like, I'm not one of them niggas, like, to post shit on Instagram. People don't know, like, I like having my moments. So when the Exodus thing happened now, I know how X is. He came in, that was supposed to be his last son. I was like, man, you gonna have 15 more. You know what I mean? And I'm joking when I'm like, yo, you know you can't take tattoos like that. I thought you gave it up. He like, nah, nah. He took some Hennessy. Every single time I tap, ooh. Ah, damn. All right, C's. All right, calm down. And I be like, nah, bro, we gonna get this over with. And then it was like, it was a blessing because I was like the last person to tattoo X. And then for that same tattoo to be the cover of his last album cover, it was like, I ain't gonna lie, I broke down in tears because it was like people didn't understand. I ain't see him as the rap star. I see him as a man. And if you ever talk to X, you know he was conflicted with a lot of things. A lot of times you gotta tell X like, yo, stop talking. You bugging, bro. You talking too much. You selling stuff that no one know, bro. And it's like, I just know that now the homie got peace now. You feel me? Like he was fighting too much, and sometimes that fight they drain you, yo. And he had some peace before he left this earth. Thank God, though. His kids, he was gonna marry Desiree. It was so crazy. It's like I was, yeah, it's my boy X.
I think it took everybody by storm. Like I'm actually from Yonkers, so we were all like shocked. Like
Nah, you know what really got me? I ain't gonna tell you no lie. What really fucked me up is how many dick suckers came out of nowhere, yo. Like out of the blue. I'm sitting there like, huh? I'm like, so it angered me so much. I didn't even go to his memorials or even though I was invited. It was like that shit was pissing me off because some of these same motherfuckers, XXX, yeah, I could have helped save them. You feel me? And it's like no one was sitting here telling me, yo, chill out. There's only certain people you like, yo, you bugging, bro. And you know what I mean? I'm just mad that he ain't, like, I don't know, man. It shit just was crazy to me at that time. Like that clout, that shit looking for attention, shit. That shit is a wicked drug, yo.
definitely, and I do want to talk about that too in terms of success, right? Of course, there's hurdles that come with it. So, what is one thing that almost took Black Ink away that you was able to combat and fight through?
Man, every month there was something that could have took Black Ink away. Cause you gotta understand, Black Ink ain't just me. You feel me? It's a whole bunch of other people. So if they do something stupid, Black Ink could be taken away. It's like so many things. But I feel like with in hindsight, the biggest hurdle I had to face was COVID. That almost destroyed Black Ink because I had to figure out early in the COVID game how to get that shit going and keep it going. And I'm probably the only person who had so many shops, didn't lose a shop. Actually, I opened up 2 more shops during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like certain things people don't certain things I'm doing, I be getting frustrated. I be like, damn, if I was somebody else, I'd probably get an award for it. But being a black man, it's like, man, try harder, go harder. And it's like, that's what keeps me striving. It's like, I got to keep going harder. It's like having, I got 9 shops, I think, or 10. I can't keep the number, but I want to be to the point that I forget about shops. Like, oh, yeah, I got 20-something shops. I got 50 shops. Word, where? Oh, God. When did you guys come around? Like, that's how I want to be looking at you like, you work for me? Since when? 6 years? Oh, damn. Well, hi. Like, nice to meet you. So, yeah, that's my biggest strive. But there's a whole bunch of things that I almost took out on Black Ink. But thank God we've been here this strong. I don't think nothing could take us down now. But COVID almost smoked us.
Yeah, so I want to say congratulations. I'm really shocked you opened up 2 shops. I didn't know that during COVID. Where are they located?
I opened up Houston and Indianapolis.
Nice. Okay. So I want to talk about the fame, right? I think, like you said, right, being a black man, there's certain hurdles you go through, and fame, everybody wants to know everything about you. It's hard to have privacy. So when that incident happened and it took place, what was the biggest thing that you learned after that? Because I believe I heard somewhere that you actually spoke to somebody, like, professionally about what took place.
I mean, once that incident happened, it was more of a, you know what, maybe I need some help. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know how much stuff you've been through until somebody really sits you down and basically get you to face certain fact. Like, people gotta understand, not only did people see trauma in my life on television for the last 10 years, but it's been stuff that I've been having behind the scenes for the last 10 years I haven't even faced or healed from. Like friends dying, family members dying. And I don't mean no like regular, I mean like cousins that was brothers, grandmothers that was your mother, like stuff like that really no one knew. And it was like, it wasn't to that point that I had to look at myself. It was like, you know what? Let me go out there and try to get some help for myself, because I don't want people thinking that I'm this animal, this monster. Yeah, I had a crazy moment, but all of us had. The only difference is that I was basically I was basically put on Front Street of mine. You feel me? Mine was recorded. At the end of the day, it would. I feel horrible about that situation, but I'm trying everything to rectify that situation.
And I'm glad you said what you said, because I think a lot of people don't realize this with the stress. I'm like, it's not, it had to be more than one thing. Like, I'm like, it had to be a compound.
Man, it was a compound. You gotta understand. That was like around the same time I was dealing with the stuff with my daughter. I was same thing. I was being stressed out. It was during COVID. My shops. It was a lot of things that was dwindling on that brought me to that moment. It wasn't just like, oh, Caesar just popped. It was like it was. I just had a moment, and then it's like, even with the whole situation, it's like I still apologize. I still fessed up to what, because even if you look at that video or anything like that, you can't tell that's me. You can't. I sat here and I was like, yo, listen, I had a moment, my bad, and that was years ago. And people don't even understand, like, I never had an incident after that because I went and got help, you feel me? Even before that video came out, because people, if you look at it, I haven't fought on Black Ink in years. That should show people how long and how much progression I'm showing. Like every other episode, Caesar's fighting. You know what I mean? I haven't fought since season 6. Right. I haven't put my hands on nobody. I hardly even curse anybody out. I've learned how to musa, meditate, do all types of shit now. So as far as everybody saying like Caesar's animal, Caesar had anger problem, nah, I had a difficult problem trying to basically cope with being famous, having a certain platform, trying to keep that platform, trying to keep that status, and also keep my family together. Like, and juggle a business and a TV show. That shit hard.
I can imagine. And I want to say also with the show, right? I mean, you're an owner, and I think that is key. Like, you lead in a lot of ways, and I think it's very important that instead of us being the star of shows, we need to learn ownership. So I want to talk to you about, when did you figure out, like, okay, wait, I need to own this? Because you good regardless.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I thought I was until the other day. See, the problem is with ownership, you got to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. You got to make sure people can't undermine you. So what happened was, me being, I think, a smart kid, I copyright Black Ink, right? What happened was, because Viacom was a bigger network and they got their own little tricks, they went behind me and copyright Black Ink Crew. They just threw the crew on there. So that's a whole different copyright. I don't have basically no rights to, which is kind of crazy because all they did was throw the crew on. Black Ink Crew wasn't their intelligent property, it wasn't their idea. They basically based Black Ink off the concept of me and my crew. So it's like, how do y'all sit there and try to take copyrights or even rights to something that y'all ain't really create? Y'all just put a camera in front of us and let us just do what we do. So it's a whole bunch of stuff like that, but everything's a learning lesson. I'm just hoping that sooner or later, me and the VH1 could come to some type of compromise or something.
Definitely, and we need you, Caesar. Like, the show didn't even drop yet, and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. But like, you're the star of the show, so
yeah, this shit is crazy. They say they cut ties with me, but the whole season's about me. So ain't really no cutting nothing. It's really like, we mad at you. We'll talk to you when the season's over, and hopefully, the people still love you, that we bring you back. But my thing is, if you see people reactions, they saying they not even watching the show no more without me on it. So that should tell them something. Like, y'all could try doing what y'all did with Jimmy and Chrissy with the Love and Hip Hop thing, but it's not the same. We got cult following. I'm 10 years in already. It's not like I was 3 or 4 seasons in. it's double digits already. So, like I said, they either gonna figure it out or I'm gonna figure it out, one or the other.
Right, and we're all rooting for you. We all want to see you back on the show, so you already know your fan base goes hard. Yes, of course. What are you looking forward to? What is next for you?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for the next chapter of my life. Like, I feel like every setback it sets up a greater comeback, and I just feel like this situation is it rid me a lot of extra weight that I have, and it showed me who was really there for me and who was just saying they was there for me. And it's like, damn, I really got all these motherfuckers that I thought was for me really ain't. And it feels good to finally get those off your back and knowing that you really could do this shit on your own. You don't really need nobody. So now it's like, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I always looked up to Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? I always looked at him as a man, an entrepreneur, a black businessman. Like, he sat there and set a tone and a bar that I feel like us as black men, especially in this type of industry, need to start taking accountability for. Like, the bar he set was ownership. The bar he set was basically going out there and making it. If a man like that could sit there and go from living in a car to being worth, I don't know how much he's worth now, at least over 200 million, I just feel like I could do the same and even better. Like, I'm not no idiot. I just have to figure it out. But I know me sitting here being under somebody's network and them able to sit there and just throw me away like I'm trash, that's never going to sit good with me.
Absolutely. I understand where you're coming from for sure with that. So everybody has their why, right? You could be doing anything, but you chose to be an entrepreneur and run all of these different tattoo parlors in different parts of the USA. So what is your why?
This is embarrassing. My why? Yeah. It's going to sound egotistical just to show people it could be done. Like, I remember I was with somebody a long time ago, and they told me I could never do something. They say you could never franchise tattoo shops. You could never be as big as you think you could be. And I think I did. I don't think I did that. And it's like, everybody who ever doubted me, whoever sat here and was like, yo, you left the streets to be a tattoo artist, or you're stupid for you to even do this. You be doing so much other things like drawing for Disney or something. It's more of a show. I'm like Frank Sinatra, I did it my way, and I made it, and no one could ever sit here and say I'm wrong. So when people sit here and ask me like why I did the franchise, it was my ego. I just had to show people I could.
Love that. Success is subjective. When did you know you were successful?
I didn't know I was successful till the other day that I see so many people hating on me. Because success breeds jealousy and hate. And like, when you in the race, you're not really noticing anything else around you. You're focused on the goal. You know what I mean? Even though there's hurdles in the race, you're still focused on the goal, but you don't remember how many people you're leaving behind. Like, it's so crazy because as I climbed, I started losing people, and I always thought, like, I'm working, I double back for them. But it was never no double back. It was like, can't take everybody with you, no matter how much you want to. Your back will never be strong enough. And I just had to learn that going forward. Like, success, it comes with sacrifice. If you want to be successful in this world, you're going to lose some things, and that's just how it is. But the moment I realized I was really successful is when I noticed I didn't have no friends, and my family members was still my family members, but it was less friendly anymore. And that's when you like the entitlement, yo, you worth this much. My friends is saying why I still live in the hood. Well, you're my older sibling. I don't think I'm supposed to support you. You know what I mean? We have a mother and grandmother that I got to take care of. So that's who I'm supposed to take care of. But other than that, success is something that's measured, I guess, by how far you came. And shit, I'm fucking successful then, yo.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on the show. Shout out to Fight Club. Shout out to Damon. Shout out to Maid. I really appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Me too. You know what I mean? I feel like some big, better things are coming my way.
Definitely, and we're here for it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Ddot Nuuworld, and shout out to the Sicarah Show.
Hi, welcome to the Sicarah Show. Today with me, I have a very special guest, Ddot Nuuworld. She is an artist who blends two different genres together, that's hip hop and house, and we will get into her clothing brand called Ddot Nuuworld. She makes a statement wherever she goes. She has Cuban, Cherokee American, and Black roots, and we will get into her music, current goals, future goals, and more. Please help me by giving her a warm welcome, Ddot Nuuworld. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm so excited to have you.
Thanks for having me. Nice meeting you.
Yes, it's so nice to meet you. And I have to start off by saying congratulations to Break the Project Season 1. I thought it was a phenomenal project. Let me know, what was that experience like for you?
No, thank you for watching and checking it out. The experience was amazing. It's one thing to visualize something, but it's another thing to just actually live it and just bring it to life in the process of it all. So it was dope.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it was shot in Las Vegas. So what was the story behind shooting in Las Vegas?
So shooting in Vegas, I don't know, for this visual, I just kept getting desert scene. And I'm like, all right, well, we gotta go to Vegas. So that's pretty much just how that worked out. So, I spoke with my team in regards to it. We also was on a strip, but we also drove to the actual desert. Actually, it's the same location where they shot the old school movie Casino. So we have certain areas that's, elements that's implemented in the film itself. So it was cool.
That's really, really dope. Would you say the desert scene was your favorite part, or do you have a favorite part of this project?
So the desert scene was definitely different. Being from New York, we have this arrogance about us, wherever we go, it's ours, which we have to stop. But there were holes in the sand, and my friend was like, "Yo, J-Dot, the videographer," he goes, "Guys, let's take a moment and acknowledge something real quick." He said, "In these holes, there are snakes, scorpions. We exposed. This is the real deal." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's right. We are on someone else's turf. There are other creatures and animals that we're not used to seeing." So it was dope. It was a lot of cliffs, edges, narrow road. Wow. So it was different. It was dope.
Okay, that is super cool. Also a little scary.
Yeah. It was. It was some scenes where I had to drive down roads. Some of them roads were too narrow, and they was like, "Yo, you gotta do a U-turn." And I was like, "Nah."
Yeah, let's not.
All right. So that's pretty much that.
Yeah, so I also gotta talk about your style. I love your hair. I love the way you rock it, and your image. You have your image right here. I don't know if you guys can see this clearly, but this is super dope. So I want to talk to you about the fact that you have Afro as your image, and your hair right now is just natural, and I think that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, and definitely something we need to start doing more.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about that.
I mean, I've been wearing my hair natural for years. I don't know, I just thought it was odd that I never had a relationship with my hair. I never knew the actual texture of my hair. One day, I was in the shower and I felt waves. I'm like, oh, I got a wave here. So from then, and this was years ago. I've been having my hair like this for well over 15 years now. When I was younger, most of us, girls, your mom would put a relaxer just for me, all those little perms and stuff in your head. But literally after high school, I've just been wearing it natural, and I know how to take care of it. It's like we speak to each other. I connect more with it. So there's that.
I think that is super cool, and I think more people now are starting to get acclimated to it and okay, wait, what is good for your hair, what's not good for your hair. Speaking of the fact that you wear Afro now and that you also just want to be your natural, authentic self, I feel that in your music. And I say that because house and hip hop are two genres I never really see together, and I feel like you exposed me to something when I was listening to your music, which is really cool. So when did you know these were the two genres that you wanted to incorporate into your music?
I mean, the way it happened, I wasn't thinking of it like I want to merge these two. I was just being like in my household growing up. I had an uncle that was a DJ. My mom, my aunt, singers and dancers, and we legit listened to everything. We listened to absolutely everything. So me being exposed to so many styles of music at an early age, it was just natural for me to merge these sounds. So it's dope, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is dope.
Yeah, like house music to me is like a gospel because it does something. Well, it's all frequency, no matter what it is. And house music always hit me. I'm like, just like, yo, this is it. And hip hop, of course. So it was bound to happen.
So who are the main mainstream artists that you listen to, hip hop and house?
Ooh, it constantly changes because right now, I ain't gonna hold you, I've been feeling Glorilla.
Yes.
Glorilla, she's dope. I love her just natural authenticity, like she's just her, and I appreciate that. I mean, so she's been listening to a lot of Glorilla. As far as house music, that changes constantly. I always refer back to Frankie Knuckles, which is that Chicago, New York, then Chicago, these different styles. I even like Jersey Club. So all these, I'm listening to everything, like legit. Still.
I think that is great because also, like you said, frequencies, I think certain music puts you in a certain vibe.
Absolutely.
And that's very important. And speaking of vibes, your clothing to me really stands out. And I think it's dope because it gives like unisex, it could be girly. I feel like men can wear it, I feel like women can wear it. So I want to talk to you about that laid, chill back style that you created and where did it come from?
Well, the laid chill back style was just want to be comfortable. However, you're pretty much ready for whatever occasion. Like there are tops, like this top, for instance, part of the new collection of Ddot Nuuworld, where you could dress this up.
Yes.
You just switch accessories, footwear, and bottom. Or you could just be on some chill, casual. Like right now, I have on some Polo jeans, some Rickies, and a little accessory. Or if you be more comfortable, you could throw on some sweatpants and some trainers, whatever. So it's about diversity without losing the quality, and just pretty much being ready for whatever.
I think that's so great because especially in New York, I mean, 1 minute you could be doing a photo shoot, you could be doing a show, then you could turn around and just be on the subway, like whatever in your car. So that's like pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Yeah, but you could be fly doing it all. Like, I don't care. There's no reason for you to come out looking ashy or anything like that. Just stay on it. Get on it.
Yes, I like that. Stay on it, get on it, for sure. So I want to really talk to you about your future as well, right? So we see you have your clothing brand, we see you have your music. What is the ultimate goal for you? Like, where do you really see yourself?
The ultimate goal is to heighten a certain consciousness. Like, it's just to heighten a certain consciousness. Like, I feel like now is the time to bring more awareness of true love and the essence of really activating that power within. And it starts off by pouring it into yourself so that way it can exude to the world. Because right now what's happening is a lot of fear-driven activities going on. And we have to tap into love. So the more we tap into that, the better. And pretty much that's just where I'm at. I can only give you what's me. So whatever I'm presenting to you, that's currently where Ddot Nuuworld is at. So I'm forever evolving, and you're just going to get a lot of growth going on. So that's why I'm reporting you.
And I love that response because it reminds me of something I had read when I was on your website. New is in you, and I thought that was super deep, and it had like a really powerful message. And you said something along the lines of what you become, it's always in you. Like, you always have everything you will be in the future.
Absolutely. Like, there's nothing outside of you that you don't have the power to create. There's nothing, most of the things outside of us is somebody else's idea. So if you look for your self-awareness or identity based on things outside of you, you become the idea of many people. And it doesn't work like that. Like, we're legit living in the realm of creation. And we are Christ. We are Christ. And all that's within us. Everything we need to know is within. And there's a lot of things that's taking place in the world today that's meant to distract us from that. Now's the time to start tapping in. Now's the time to do a lot of self-healing, a lot of self-research, so we could get to this place of evolving.
And I think that is very important as well. And I wanted to talk to you too, because you said something that was really important, getting to know ourselves, right? So we know you're Cuban, Cherokee American, and you have Black roots, which I think is really incredible. A lot of people aren't aware fully where they come from or anything about their past. So I noticed in your music you put a little bit of Espanol in there, and I just want to ask you, lyric-wise and visual-wise, how important is it to stay true to your essence of who you are, especially ethnically?
It's easier. Let's make it that simple. It's easy. I don't have to think to be myself. I have to think when I'm trying to be something other than. Now, part of being yourself also requires you to put some work to grow. There's a difference between putting in the work to grow and then putting in the work and energy to be something that's just not you. And there could be a battle in that. But when you're just literally evolving and becoming more of you, it's not difficult. It takes a lot of discipline, but it's easy to be yourself. Like, it's easy.
Like a lot of artists are really focused on is fame and money. Are those two factors that drive you?
Well, you have to ask yourself this: do you want to do this as a business, or do you just want to create art? And not to say you can't do both. So when it comes to you want to generate income, you have to think as far as business and strategizing and doing things in a manner that will generate the income. If you just want to create art, create the art. But if you want it to be business, you have to learn the business as much as you become better at the art. So for me, what drove me is just me. I feel free when I am creating, when I'm creating. So it's just a sense of freedom for me. However, I do want this as a business, so therefore I had to learn to implement certain behaviors and strategize and get a team to make it make sense to where it's transactions happen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what is your idea of success?
Yeah. It's like I success. I would just say at the end of the day, if peace. Because success could literally look like anything for various people. There are people that's happy pushing a broom.
Sure.
Who are us to say that that's not successful? That person knows that man or that woman is at peace. They okay. That you can't buy that.
Yeah.
So being at peace, having well-balanced mental, spiritual, physical, that's success.
People get so distracted they end up doing what everybody else is doing, which is quite difficult. Like it just is, because like you said, it's not natural.
Right.
Yeah. So what is the best way that people can support you as a music artist or as a designer?
As the best way for you to support Ddot Nuuworld is you could download my music, attend the events. These are things that you're absolutely going to enjoy. I'm not giving you nothing trashy. It's quality stuff. As far as the clothing, I have illnu.com. Website's available, Ddot Nuuworld website available. Follow me on all my social media handles. I need all of you guys to do that for me. Speaking of events, I have an event October 20th in Brooklyn where we're doing a viewing/pop-up. Right now you can RSVP for free. So come out, let's turn up, and get to know me.
I think that is incredible. I love the fact that you're throwing events. Also, shout out to your fan base. You have a lot of fans, and they're really dope. Like I was checking out your comments and your views, and I was like, that is what's up. What do you think it is about you that attracts so many people to you?
Well, what I hear the most from people, a lot of them, they like my style. They like how I dress, or they like how I wear my hair, you know, and all those things are cool. But I feel like that's just pretty much what grabs the attention of people. But also when, you know, we had the opportunity to engage with each other, they could feel the vibes. That's one thing you can't fake. I don't care how you dress, what you wear, the vibes are the vibes. So they feel the vibes, like it's real, like it's authentic. And that's just what it is. Some people, it's for some people and it's not for some people, but that's just what it is. So shout out to all the supporters that's been here from the very beginning, the ones that's coming and the ones to come. I'm always giving you the dopeness. That's just what it is.
Yes, and make sure y'all check out Break the Project. Season 1 is out now. As you
Yes.
mentioned earlier, it's about 17 minutes. Very interesting, very creative. And I like the fact that there's some skits, there's some talking in there, then it's actual performance, actual music. Very dope. So make sure you guys watch that.
Yes. It's available right now on YouTube. The Break This Project album is also available on all streaming platforms. Come rock with me. Into the new, baby.